Alright, hello, welcome to another day of Naruto NES, day 42 to be precise, where we are just gonna get straight on into it, no preamble, no nothing, just good old fights, because I have been crunching numbers and we gotta pick up the pace. Because my average of fights per match has gone down from 67 to 66, so I need to start getting more fights in to bring the average up. Oh my goodness! And faulty cables is not going to help my cause. And yeah, to bring my fight average up, even by 0.1%, but still 0.1% more than it has been. But anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it. We're 8,417 to go, and having a look at my sheet so far, we're 2,000. Oh no, 2,800. No, hang on. Actually, I can math this out. We're 2,810. 2,810 fights down. That's how many we is done. Fabulous. Oh, and roll call. I haven't even done the roll call. Lovely strawberry yogurt ice cream with little silver and gold bead things. Delicious. Accompanied by good old cup of tea, even in like a little nice cup, as well as my dry cup of water. So we had the gang is all here. But oh no, I don't want Boruto. You can have your hat. Because I was supposed to be getting my like little zilch low sugar, low fat ice cream, but alas, it was $11 up from $9. So I'm like, you know, not gonna happen today. Not gonna happen today. Whereas this was $5 and it's less sugar than normal. So I'm like, hey, if I just eat less of it, it all balances itself out. I know how that's not health and dieting works, but hey, I can try. Bam. Lovely. Right, 3 minutes in and 2 fights down. Okay, what do we got next? Up on the menu, Asuma and Orochimaru. Speaking of fitness and exercise, and health and dieting, so I have there's a website that I love called Debbie. I don't know why it's called Debbie actually, I should probably figure that out. Anyway, but they are fantastic. If you've ever seen like on the internet, you get those like little like one-page fitness like exercises, but they're all like themed, like here is the Black Widow exercise, and here's the Thor exercise, and here's the Doctor Who exercise, you know, or here's the Xena Warrior Princess exercise. It's that website. But they do a whole bunch of stuff. It's not just that, they do heaps of stuff. But they do these like fitness programs, like 30-day or 60-day fitness programs. Which I have started to do. Like I've tried tried to do them in the past, but I've just never been disciplined enough to keep it going. But this time I am. But so I did it. I'm doing it one at the moment, but only I've just finished day 4 today of it. So I've only like literally just started. Called Fireheart, and it's all like combat based exercise. So it's all like punches, like jabs and cross jabs, and like squats with kicks, side kicks, and all that sort of thing. But they all like train like the muscles that you'd use like in like martial arts sort of thing. But anyway, the first day I must have gone. It was very like leg focused. It was like lots of squats and all that shebang. I made the mistake of going a little bit too hard because my thighs were gone, and then even now they're still hurting. And it just goes to show, like, when you're getting just back into exercising properly, your body's just like, yo, can you stop? Can you not? But it also made me realise something. Made me realise something about my other condition that I've got. I say it's a condition. I've self-diagnosed, but I mean, I feel like it's an accurate diagnosis as well. Restless leg syndrome. So it's. I was explaining it to a guy at work today. What it is, but it's like, imagine in your legs. You feel like you need like stretch. You know when you get those like muscle things, you're just like, oh, I need to stretch my leg. You know, imagine that. But no matter how you stretch or twist your leg or like lie up against the wall and stretch your leg out up against the wall, get like someone to put you on a rack and like squeeze the muscle out of you, like no matter what you do, that feeling does not go away. Like, it just is just constant feeling like you need to move your legs and stretch your legs and twist your legs, or like there's like a spot that no matter like how you twist and contort your leg, it's like this one spot you're just like not able to relieve it. It is awful. And I figured out, because I'm like, why am I getting such restless legs? Because I would have thought, you know, exercise and help in the thing, but it's like, oh, but if you exercise too much, and if you exercise too soon before bed, so like if you exercise like within like 2 hours or something, 2 or 3 hours of going to bed, it exacerbates it. But if your exercise is too strenuous, it exacerbates your restless legs. So I'm sitting there, my thighs are just like burning, or like aching, should I say, you know, have just had the workout of their life. And then I've also now compounding restless legs onto that. Oh man, it was joyless, I can tell you that. I get restless legs every now and then. Sometimes I get it like only very rarely and occasionally will I get it really bad. Rolled up. Infrequently. But I found that iron, because the cause of it will depend on like a bajillion different factors, as everything does. But a common one, especially in women, is iron deficiency. So when the boy used to go hunting, and he'd get like he'd get a venison, and we'd be having venison for tea all the time. Like it's like, oh, that's right, I haven't felt that feeling in ages, you know. So because venison's one of those high in iron, like super lean red meat kind of stuff. So that was great. But we haven't had venison in ages. And then I find out that exercise, which, you know, they say exercise is the cure for all wounds, but exercise isn't helping. And it was funny because in the article I was reading about it too, it says like, you know, like athletes, like marathon runners who get restless legs feel like really dejected and upset that they now have to go less hard on their training. I'm like, story of my life. I'm not a marathon runner. I don't think I would ever be. doing physical exercise for enjoyment. Ooh. Unless it's like Just Dance or like a game, in which case, like a video game, in which case that's fine. You know, I could enjoy that a little bit more. Like Just Dance is one of those games that I would actually hella enjoy if I was the only one in the room. Like I wouldn't even do it in front of the boy. Would I? Maybe. Depends. Depends on my mood, I guess. Maybe that's how I get fit. I just buy like a camera and do Just Dance. Maybe that's the secret. So like I used to go to back in the day. I used to go to Zumba with my older sister and her mate. And that was actually really fun, and for the first time ever in my life I had abs. Like what? Like now it's just a big pouch of fat, but you know I used to have abs. It was weird. And it was fun. It was actually fun. So maybe I just gotta get back into that. Maybe I just gotta start going to the gym a bit more regularly. Because really, like, the more you look into, you know, the whole fitness stuff, you know, dieting and all that sort of thing, it actually, in the end, is really simple. Like, it's like, and I don't mean simple as in the case like, oh, if you just do this one or two things, like, you're guaranteed. Like, everyone's different, so there's always, you know, it's all a matter of finding what will work for you, but there's certain key, like, if you want to lose weight, you eat less than you eat less than you burn. Done. It's really calories in versus calories out. If you want to, you know, be fitter and strong and everything, go to the gym, lift weights, body weight exercise, calisthenics, all that sort of thing. Like, that's it. That's all, literally all you gotta do. Yo, Hanzo, daughter, like, there we go. Thanks. But that's it. We've got to worry about. There is obviously detail on top of that. Like, you know, genetics unfortunately does play a very large part in it all. Like, the boy finds it super easy to put on muscle. Like, he doesn't really have to try too hard to start putting on muscle. Whereas other people, you know, take, you know, they... Oh my goodness, this guy's just going hunting. You know, whereas other people, they like really struggle. You know, and likewise, we also find it, you know, both me and the boy find it very hard to lose weight. Whereas for other people, I mean, they hardly put it on. You know, that sort of thing. So there is all that, but at the end of the day, no matter who you are, the fundamentals do still apply. It's all well me. It's all well and good me saying this while I'm shoveling ice cream or frozen yogurt down my throat, and I'm sitting here 100k plus. So, I mean, so like I know all the, I know what I have to do. So I've just got to do it, is the thing. Right, I feel like the AI is just going through one of its phases where it's just like, I'm just going to be difficult. Right, there we go. Thank you. me. Oh, come on. Stop. There we go. Thank you. Maybe it's because I'm focusing on my ice cream that I'm having difficulties where I shouldn't be having difficulties. It is a very real possibility. There we are. Oh my goodness, bruh, Shikamaru, can you not? It is, the AI today is just having an absolute day, isn't it? Like, my theory still stands that the AI goes through like cycles where suddenly it's like, today, of all days, I'm just going to be difficult as all hell. I'm going to be using all them crafty tactics to get your substitution gauge all the way down to 0. So you've got no chance but to, just to take my combo. Excuse me. Alright, what we got next? We've got Hidan and Deidara. Alright. And the AI this time is being a little bit generous. Yeah, he's not using substitution when he should be. Yeah, maybe because he's a long range actually, so there's probably no point trying to do my tactic of getting him to chakra dash in. Yeah, no. Oh, I was gonna be here forever. Right. Oh my goodness, the other thing too, and I ruined it in my what's the word? Furor is not the right word. In my excitement of that over having finally stamped we paid our rates bill today, so I was finally able to press my paid stamp on the piece of paper, and in my excitement I ruined it. I ruined the moment. I was so upset, and the boy just couldn't help just laugh. I'll show you after this. I was so upset, and and then I had to overcompensate to make up for my upsetness. One more. Lovely. Oh, so upset. Okay, so paid the rates bill. So I was like, right, ready to now stamp paid on this piece of paper. So what do I go do? Rather than just coming down and just clicking paid, see if I can actually grab this out just so you can properly see. I did it so like hastily. Oh my goodness. I did it so hastily that it came out all like giant and like fudgy. Like, oh my goodness. I was so devastated. It wasn't like a clean paid. It's all like double printed. I was very, very upset. I was so heartbroken. It looks all janky now. For my first ever use of the paid thing, it's just all janky. So that I'm just in my upsetness, I was just like paid. So that piece of paper's got like 10 different paid things all over it. So I was so upset. But anyway, but at least the stamp works. $16 well spent. Now that I think about it, $16 for that. Probably could have got one from the $2 shop. Probably they would have worked just as well, actually. In fact, it probably comes from a $2 shop. They just mark it up by like 300%. Should have her now. With the wombo combo. And boom. Done. Right. But I did have someone at work say that he has like heaps of papers and stuff in his house, like all you know, all over the place, all in shambles. And I'm like, well, now that my leg. Now that I am a life admin folder aficionado and proud owner of one, I was like, I can come around to your house and spend like 2 hours in the afternoon making up your life admin folder. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I'm dead serious. Like, I'm serious. I will do that. I'll pay you to be able to do that. Because I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I'll be like, I'll bring my hole punch. I'll bring my paid stamp. I'll bring a pen, you know, pen and paper. Oh, it'd be fabulous. You just have to supply the ring binder. In fact, actually, I would even be happy to supply my own ring binder. Maybe that's my business. Custom life admin folders. I sit down with you for an hour consultation. Discuss your life. Discuss what your life admin needs may be. Because if there's no one that you buy presents for, then my present list you don't need. But basically what I have to do is I have is from 1 to 20, I have like a list of things, like, or you kind of like my placeholder things. So you can choose which ones you want, and then I can make them up for you, and then, you know, get all my templates printed off. I can productize my life admin. Excuse me, maybe that's my side hustle. I productize the life admin. In fact, actually, I need to be careful how I do it, because there is, when you type in life admin hacks, also it's either like a book or a set of things that you can buy. It's like an actual proper website. So I'm like, I don't want to, you know, I wouldn't want to do it to try and compete with other life admin peeps. Like, this is my own, you know, my own creation. But basically, what I'll do is to productize it. So what I do is I have templates that I make on like Google Sheets or something. But these are like my life admin terms. They look sexy, they look cool. Print them off, and you can fill your life admin folder with these templates. So I could just do that for one. Number 2, and do you want them digital or physical copy? Because the physical copy is the golden standard. Even though we're in the digital age, nothing beats a clean, crisp physical life admin folder. But you can have digital if you are so inclined. And then, so I do my templates, and then I have a set of 20 Because at the moment my life admin folder is 20, you know, or up to 20 sections for all my different life admin needs. I've only filled 6, so I need to think of like the other 14. But then what I do is then I fill it up with things, and then I sell them as a following. So you know, do you want my full set of 20, or is there another thing that you can have so you can like mix and match for some custom ones? If you want a custom life admin section, so one that I consult with, piece together the process behind the thinking behind it, and then determine how the template will be forged, you know, I can charge an extra fee on top of that. And then at the end, once you've spent $1 million with me, at the end of it you'll have a beautiful, bespoke, custom, highly valuable and advantageous to your life life admin folder. So then what you do is you sit down on a Sunday evening at or whatever the start of your week may be, whether that's a Sunday or a Saturday or a Friday or a Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, whatever, bi-weekly, fortnightly, you know, whatever you'd like. You sit down and you go through each section of your life admin folder. You see, okay, is there any licenses or registrations or anything like that that I need to renew? Oh, that I need to start the renewal process this week for? No, let's move on to the next section. Is there any bills that I need to pay and that I can pay? No. Well, what if there's a bill that I need to pay but I don't have the money for? Then let's consult my savings and expenses tracker. Oh look, if I don't buy takeaways on Tuesday, I can save up enough money to pay for the bill, you know, that sort of thing. Fabulous. Is there any presents I need to buy? Do we have Mother's Day, Father's Day, Children's Day, a birthday, Christmas, Easter, you know, all of these things? Do we have any of those days coming up? Then yes, great. So then I now know which presents I need to buy. Because as part of my presents buying section, you know, it's, you know, who's it for, what's the occasion, what's the date that you need to purchase to buy, and what is it? Like, what are you actually getting? Because then when you fill that all out, boom, when it comes to the gift buying process, you're like, oh, well, I know I need to buy my mum a jigsaw puzzle. Done. I now just go and buy a jigsaw puzzle. And if there's a specific thing in mind, then you can even write that specific thing in mind. Is it, do I, you know, purchase it from the store? Do I need to order online? In which case, then, if I do need to order online, what's the lead time? You know, is it going to take 2 months to get here? Is it going to take 2 days? All of these sorts of stuff, you know. So you have to do, there is research involved, but once your research is done and done efficiently, then you never have to worry about it when the time comes to buy the presents. So like, I'm even going to do this in my own life with my Christmas shopping. You know, all of that sort of thing. So I've got that. What else have I got? Household notices. Is there any like notices from the council or you know, notices about maintenance, upcoming maintenance on your road that you need to be wary of? Then boom, chuck that in your household notices. You can flick through and be like, oh, this is going to become relevant this week. Done. You know, now at least I know and am reminded and can make plans. And then what else have I got? Things to buy for the house. So like us, we're new homeowners. There's so much stuff we need to get for this house. We need to get bookshelves. We need to get bedside tables. A lot of stuff we also, you know, more wants than needs. But, you know, you can have a mix and match of both. Because then you set a priority system. So like 99% of the stuff on our list is low priority. Because it's like boxes for my jigsaw puzzles and, you know, boxes for my cross-stitch stuff. And cross-stitch frames, poster frames, that sort of thing. But sometimes it's high priority things like our lawnmower. We don't want our lawns to become unkempt. Therefore, a lawnmower is on a high priority. And then you're like, okay, well, what's the estimated cost? And this is then when you can do your research or do a ballpark number. Check that you've got money saved up for it. You're like, right, well, we need a lawnmower that's like $1,500. It's a high priority. We have $1,500. Scroll down the list. High priority items first. Boom, we buy the lawnmower. Because then we're not buying it on the low priority items like poster frames. See, and then you go down the list. So have we cleared? Is there any high priority items? No. Is there any medium priority items? Yes. Boom. Get that then. what's the estimated cost, done. And then what you can do is you can say, right, well, here's our estimated cost versus here's the actual cost that it was. Did we save money? Did we spend more money? And then those can inform later purchasing decisions. Like, it all just blends seamlessly together. It's just, it changes your life. It revolutionizes your life. I swear to good golly. What else do I have in my list? Important receipts. When you buy things, you need the receipts. If it's like a giant purchase, like a lawnmower or a fridge, or you know, the big ones, that if something went wrong, you'd kind of want to, you know, to let people know ASAP, then you can have all that stuff too. And it's just like, then you can save, you can, you know, if you get them digital, get a printer, print them off. Don't have a printer, chuck that on your things to buy for the house list at a high priority, because a printer will revolutionize your life as well. Even in the modern age, even in the digital age, you know, we've got a lovely printer sitting on the floor because we have a table for the printer down as a low priority item on our list. See, again, it just all blends in together. It just all blends in together. And you might have other things we need to save, like there's like a, you know, either like a big holiday that we want to save for. Well, then you put your savings tracker together, you do things in categories, like, okay, so how much are we spending per week on takeaways, how much are we spending on rent and utilities and all these sorts of things. What are the absolute like they're called like non-variable purchases or non-variable expenses, where it's basically like it's your rent, it's your monthly bills, your weekly bills, like the things that won't change. They will be the same every week or every month, whatever the frequency is. So there's that. And then you've got your variable expenses, which is your takeaways, your petrol, your clothes, just things that you won't be getting necessarily every single week. You know, so then you work, okay, you look at your variable expenses, what can I cut back on? Oh, we're having a little bit too much takeaways, we can cut back on that. To then make up for the high priority items on my things to buy list. Done. You know, that sort of thing. Like, we had a savings tracker for a couple of years. So I suppose I kept it fairly maintained. You know, what's our weekly income? You know, how much have we got in all of our accounts, and then all of our you know, what did we get in reimbursements or income per week, and then what did we spend on? And, you know, broke it all down by categories. You can have as many or as few categories as you like. We actually broke down, I think I actually broke it down quite well. Like, I even had, like, you know, what have we bought in takeaways versus restaurants? When it comes to games, are we buying from like EB, like we buying the physical stuff from EB Games, or are we buying things from the like Nintendo eShop, that sort of thing? Clothes, medication, appointments, like doctors and dentist appointments. Like, you know, if you have to have a doctor's appointment, you've got to have a doctor's appointment. But how much are we spending on doctor's appointments? Is there maybe a cheap doctor we can look at? You know, we're spending so much on takeaways that we're probably going to need more doctor's appointments. So maybe that's something we've got to work out the balance on. You know, we're spending $200 a week on restaurants, but $20 a week on takeaways. Well, we can probably get cheaper takeaways than we can at restaurants. So we'll just do that instead. It's just... yeah, but anyway, so... long story short, we had a savings tracker while we were saving up for the house, and it helped immensely work out what we're spending, and then, you know, color coded as well. So at the end of the week, at the end of each column, you know, for each week, we would have, you know, so how much did we save, and if we managed to save $500 plus, then it was a little, you know, got highlighted in green automatically. My ad did some conditional formatting. It was an Excel spreadsheet, or no, yeah, it wasn't. Started off as an Excel spreadsheet and then became a Google Sheets spreadsheet because I want to be able to find show people easily on my phone to show them what an amazing savings tracker I'd had. But anyway, but then I got color coded green, and then if we saved less than 500 but over 250, then it was an orange, and then anything less than 250 was a red. So then at a glance you can see where we saved, where, you know, we saved what we wanted, or ones that we didn't, and that could be for a variety of reasons, not necessarily fault of our own. So we did that, and then in terms of like the overall difference, so the difference between weeks, if the difference between weeks was 500 plus, it was a green. If it was between 500 and 0, it was a orange, and if it was less, if we actually lost money, then it was a red. Because we also had our Kiwi savers, which were, you know, they fluctuate, meant to really go up, but they fluctuate generally. So we were lumping in our Kiwi saver as part of our house savings. So the Kiwi saver is going to drop up and go flippity floppy up and down. Like we'll have saved 500, but because the Kiwi saver went down 300, then the difference between the weeks was only 200. So it's an orange. We still saved something. We didn't lose anything. So there's that. And then you're just able to see, you know, you're able to plot your progress, you know, to see how much you're saving. Sometimes you'll just have, you know, come across some extra cash. You've saved $1,000 and you just see that line go up. Oh goodness, you know, you see your little, how you're tracking on your progress to your goal go up, and it's nice. It's very nice. Sort of it keeps that motivation there, I guess. Keeps the motivation to keep going. And then voila, here we are in our home. We did have to make sacrifices, like a little bit. I'd actually say we weren't like 2-minute noodle and bread kind of sacrifices, but using our savings tracker, we were able to work out, okay, right, we're spending a little bit too much on takeaways, so let's not do the takeaways and we'll make our own, you know, what we call a mixed struggle. Which is, you know, where, actually no, so it's not really a mixed struggle, but it's like when, like, can we have McDonald's? No, we got McDonald's at home. That sort of stuff, that sort of thing. So we did that, and yeah. So that was, like, I suppose, the precursor to my life adminness, just because I saw the success, the outstanding success that was that. Which then made me think, like, I've got to do this more with more aspects of my life, like, done. And because also I'm extremely forgetful, extremely disorganized, extremely just all over the place, mentally, physically and emotionally. So just trying to have some semblance of order in my life, some semblance of normalcy, you know, stability, helps immensely. It helps me feel like I've got my life semi on track. Makes me feel like I'm doing something of worth, something of value. So hashtag can't recommend life admin folders enough. And I'm totally going to productize. And if you want tips, you're like, I've tried the savings tracker, it's just not working, but I know that it will work if I like think, what do I do? And I'm like, bruh, don't need to show me any details, don't need to show me any numbers, but show me what format you've got. And they'll be like, okay, well here's my format. I'll be like, well, there's your problem. You're tracking how much you're saving and you're tracking how much you're spending, but where are you seeing that difference? Where are you seeing the progression? You're not tracking how much you are, what your difference is week on week. So yeah, you're saving stuff and you're spending stuff, but like, how are you, where is that visual element to actually like get at a glance, you can see that you're progressing, you know, or slipping. How, you know, how are you doing that? How are you seeing that? Oh, I'll add that section and I'm like, yeah, done. Or for $29.99, I'll send you my Google Sheets template. And you could have a savings tracker just like me. And because my Excel formula game is, I mean, you know, it's not winning any awards. I'm not an accountant. I wouldn't say I've got to hold any candle to accountants, but you know, it's passable. I know some formulas. You know, I can even show you, you know, here's some, keep your savings tracker simple. You do not need formulas here, there and everywhere doing 50 bajillion things, and as soon as you make one tiny change, the entire sheet falls apart. Now, my Google Sheets are robust. Yeah, I can productize that. Oh, the productizing capabilities I've just unleashed or unlocked within myself are immense. Booty. In fact, now I'm in a life admin mood. Wow. Now I've got to think what other aspects of my life I can life adminize. Maybe I could do a kilometer tracking, fuel efficiency tracking. No, I count down how many Ks between I'm driving between trips, and then I can even track any further. Am I doing small trips? You know, how many times did I go to work during that span? How much am I spending? What's the variable? Because obviously prices will go up and down. So $50 will be a very different amount of liters. So maybe I fill it in I do it by liter, fuel efficiency per liter. You know, and that sort of thing. And then I see, oh, is my car maybe on the days where I do lots of long drives, on the sections between fills up where I'm doing lots of small trips, my fuel efficiency isn't as good per litre as it would be when I'm doing my longer trips all the time. You know, I can do something with that information, I guess. What the information is, I don't quite know yet. But I know it's something I can track. Something involving writing down a series of numbers and making analytical decisions from it. Lee and Sasuke last. Maybe I can do my games. Okay, so because for me, the purchasing and acquisition of video games is high priority for me. Just in general, like I will cheap out on food so I can buy the top-notch video games. You know, I'm happy eating eggs on toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if it means I can get the video games I want. As bad as that sounds actually quite bad and sad, doesn't it? But anyway, I just know that buying video games is very important to me. So maybe I can do, because I've got on my gaming tracker, which is like my giant, amazing tracking all the games I'm playing spreadsheet. Because I've got one tab is for all the games that I've ever played and am playing and have purchased but haven't started yet. You know, I've got all them sitting and matching tracking the progress of all of those. I've then got my summaries. So per year and per quarter what games did I finish, and on what dates did I finish them on. So I can look back and I can tell you every game that I finished in 2021, which I finished 23 games in 2021, which I've already far surpassed this year. I think I went to like 36 or something this year, which is fabulous. Probably helped quite substantially by like I played lots of like shorter games this year, whereas 2020 and 2021 is definitely like, you know, it's your big RPGs. Whereas like I've had like lots of like Mists and Devil May Cries and all that sort of thing this year, which has probably boosted my numbers quite substantially. But anyway, still games that have been finished. And what else? So then I've got that in another tab, and then on another tab I've got my wish lists. So which is then divided into games that have already been released, but I just want them, and then games that still are to be released. So then on my life admin side, I can then say, okay, well, for the games to come, when are they going to come? What platform am I going to buy them on? As I know the prices of them as they come out, start writing them down, and then I can check back to see if I've budgeted enough to buy that. So then I can start putting aside money. So I'm like, okay, well, in November, there's like 3 games that want to come out. So I know, because I get paid at the end of every month, or sort of towards the end of every month. So I know that, okay, so when I get paid, you know, at the end of October, which has already happened. Well, there you go. So then what I can do is I can then say, okay, well, 2 games are coming out in November. Oh, and then because I also need, is it a day one purchase, or is it a wait till it goes on sale? Or is it a wait till I've got extra cash kind of thing? Because there's like some which I'm buying on day one. I'm there midnight, like taking the day off kind of stuff. There's ones where I will want to buy it quite soon after it's released, but I'll kind of wait till I've got a little, like, you know, wait till I've got a bit of extra cash, not too much of a priority, but there. And then ones that I'll buy if it goes on sale, and then ones if like I'll buy if I've like run out of other games to play kind of thing. That sort of stuff. So I put them in the categories. So if there's any day one purchases, or things that I reckon I'll probably buy that month, then I can make sure I've got money set aside when I get paid, and so I can do that per month, you know, that sort of thing. And then each week I can just say, right, I've got blanks in terms of prices. Is there any games that we now know the price to that I can fill in? That sort of thing. So like an example of those categories would be, so let's see, so Final Fantasy 16 day one, taking like 2 days off work for that, like no questions asked. Crisis Core will be the next category down, which is I'm not going to buy it day one, but I will be getting it very soon after, most likely by the end of the year. That'll be the next one. And then the next one down will be something like... What will be the next one? The next one down... So what's the next one down? It's buy it when it's on sale. Probably that Asterigos game that's come out. I think it's out. I'm pretty sure. Like I've had it on my wishlist. I remember seeing like when it first got sort of announced, I guess. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. But kind of like Immortals Phoenix Rising a little bit, but not. So that will be, you know, when it goes on sale, I'll buy it, because I'm not dying to, like, not actually dying to play it, but you know, I'll get it. And then I suppose the game that I'll get if I've got nothing else to buy and play. There's that game, what's it called? East Shade, where it's like you're like a painter or something on an island, and basically it's almost it's almost like photo mode, but when you take a photo, or like say someone says, I need you to paint me a picture of like a snowy mountain, a view from a snowy mountain or something. So you go climb to a snowy mountain, you put your canvas, you put your easel there with your canvas, and it's kind of like you take a picture, but that's like what you see, you know, what you take a picture of in photo mode is what you painted on the canvas. which then you can bring it back to the person, get your money or whatever. That's a game I've been quite interested in, but it's like, but I probably would buy it when it's on sale, but then also at the same time I've got more bigger games, priority games that I want to play. So that's my kind of like sort of system that I'm thinking of for my games. Yeah. Just turn the light on. Ugh. Oh, come on. I seriously need to get a better cable for my... I don't know if it's the cable or if it's my controller. That'd be the question. Do Xbox Series X controllers work on Windows 11? I would hope they did. I'd be surprised if they didn't, considering how similar to Xbox One controllers they are. Come on. Screw it. Bam. I might actually put that in my, now that I'm thinking about it, I might actually put that in my life admin folder. That actually sounds like a great idea, at least for me anyway. But if you guys want to steal it, then go for it. Go for it. Oh my god, I hope you didn't hear that. If you didn't, I won't say what it was. Cheese. I'm surprised it hit him. Probably actually taking longer than if I just there we go. Fabulous. Right. Life admin. It'll be Tsunade and Young Lee. Tsunade and Young Lee, yes. Oh, and the reason too why, if you wanted to do a digital life admin stuff, you do it on Google Sheets. Or at least what I do it on Google Sheets. This is way easier to bring it up to show people your amazing life admin stuff. Then again, if you're a Microsoft, if you got your Excel stuff on lock, then that will work just as fine. But I don't yet have my Excel stuff on lock, and I've just had budget phones that take absolutely ages to load Excel as well, so that's why I haven't. But Excel will work just as fine. As long as you have some kind of spreadsheeting software that you can do formulas and conditional formatting on, your life admin and stuff's set. And my $29.99 templates will they'll work. Right, so that's another. So now I've got 7 out of 20 life and stuff. Oh no, that's why I was going to have my recipe database. Actually no, because my recipe database is a bit more. It's a bit more digital. Works better digitally than it does in paper. Right, then we've got Kiba and another reanimation. Who did I say? Just say Kiba. Yes. Maybe maintenance, something around maintenance, and like, not necessarily like chores, but kind of like, when does your extraction fan filters need to be cleaned? When should you go and check the guttering on your house? Shower cleaning frequencies. Full bathroom deep clean frequencies, full kitchen deep clean frequencies. When do you need to go get your pillows fluffed? That's another one. That's another one. I might put that. Write that down. That's more. And then again, it doesn't even necessarily need to be. Doesn't necessarily need to be just house maintenance. It can be yourself. When do I gotta go get my nails did? You know, and things with a set frequency, but I suppose the idea being that it's things that you should do to keep things up and running. You'll have, you won't need to put your car servicing in. Oh, I suppose you could put your car servicing in. So, like, at the moment we're putting that in with, like, when do licenses and registrations need to be thing. Probably, you know, like things, because we've got Warren Fitness service and car registration all due at the same time, so I can't just lump them all together. But you could actually put your car service. I suppose it's like a kind of maintenance, I guess. Maybe that's the thing. But yeah, but like, you know, when do you go get your gutters cleaned? When do you, I don't know, clear out your junk room? When do you do like a big clothes purge? That's now something I need to do. And actually been meaning to do a clothes purge in ages, where you go through all your clothes, what I've actually worn since the last one, you know, and then you say, right, have I not worn this because it's a special occasion thing, or have I not worn this because I just don't wear it anymore? In which case then, you know, you separate them all out, and then all the stuff that you don't wear and aren't for special occasions, they go to like a clothes bin or to like a charity shop or something, or an op shop. But you don't throw your good clothes in the bin. Oh yes, which actually reminds me I need to do a clothes purge, now that I say that. And also need to go through all the all of the stuff that we still haven't put away since we've moved, all our boxes. Like, I mean, we've technically like unpacked most of the boxes. It's just we haven't put them anywhere. But then actually no, but that's because we don't actually have anywhere to put them. It's just in different spaces on various floors and different rooms, because we need to buy shelving and things like that, which is part of our things to buy for the house, and is of medium priority, because we bought or now have purchased all our high priority items. So now for the next purchases we go to our mediums, which will be stuff like that. Nice try, lady. Lovely. Right. And 10-10 again. Is there anything medically you could do? Possibly. Like a medication schedule, or like a daily, like a bodily checkup. That sounds weird. Like a, I don't know. Like a, no. Actually no, that probably wouldn't be worth, unless you're on like an actual like full-on course of medications and things, you probably wouldn't need to. It's like if you're just like me, where it's just one pill at the same time every day, I don't need to do a whole life as much as it pains me to say. Don't need to do a whole life admin thing about that. Lovely. I reckon when you get stuff on your nose, you can definitely see it out of the corner of your eye. I always get that all the time. Right, we've got next second Tsuchikage and Hanzo. But first, let me just drop that list down to 37. Alright. Tsuchi and Hanzo. Let's I was actually thinking, oh my gosh, I actually had a real, and this is like way too handy, but if done well and properly maintained, could actually be pretty sick. Is once you've like, let's say, so like how I would use this, what I'm just about to think, and it will probably sound so insanely over the top, but it sounds amazing. One is, or rather, what I do is, we've unpacked everything in the house. Everything is in its place. It's on its proper shelf, in its proper box. We have a place for everything, and everything is in its place. What I then do is assign each room has a name. Each location has a name. Kitchen, bathroom, master bedroom, guest bedroom, games room, living room area, dining area, garage, back garden, front garden, side garden, whatever. Then what you do is painstakingly you go through every single item in your house. Every fork, every spoon, every plate, every book, every playing card, every pack of sellotape, every pencil, every pen, every scissors, every webcam, every HDMI cable, every mug, every pop vinyl bobblehead, every post-it note, every hole puncher, everything. And you put it all into a giant inventory spreadsheet. Great! And then, so then what you do is you have what it is. Is it a pencil? Is it a brown pencil? Is it a red pencil? What brand is it? If a brand can apply. If either you don't know what the brand is or you can't find, you've got no idea what the brand is and there's no way for you to know. So like this mug, oh no, Living Inco, there you go. So you have that. What would be this? This spoon, I don't know what the brand is, but anyway, so it's just a spoon. So you have that, the brand, the quantity, so I'd be like spoon times 7. I think we've got, I mean, it feels like we've actually got less spoons than that, but anyway, you get the point. So you do that, and then, so you've got the, what it is, the quantity, the location is it in, do you have spoon times 3 in the bathroom, spoon times 4 in the kitchen? Do you have, that sort of stuff. And then, once you've done that, so then everyone's like, oh, where are the paper clips? I'm sure we had paper clips somewhere. I'm like, the white paper clips or the steel paper clips? And they're like, oh, the steel ones, I guess. I'm like, let me just consult my inventory. Go to the P's. There's me paper clips. I have 5 paper clips in the bedroom, in the left cupboard, 3rd row down. Done. Boom. There's the paper clips. And then, let's say, sellotape. Oh, we've just used the sellotape to wrap our Christmas presents that we remembered to buy and knew what we were getting thanks to my other page of my life admin folder. Where do I put the sellotape? Oh no, you don't just put it on the bench. You flip back. Sellotape belongs in the 3rd drawer down in the kitchen on the left hand side next to the spoon cupboard, but between the slow cooker and the pots cupboard. Done. Boom. Everything has a place. No, a place for everything and everything in its place. That is what it would do. Oh, it would revolutionize living. It would be, you'd never lose anything. You knew where everything needed to go. Eventually, it would get to the point where you wouldn't even need to consult your little handy-dandy inventory, because you'll just remember. You'll just know where everything is. And then made even better when you start to now categorize, it helped categorize your drawers a bit more, and then every 6 months or every year, you can go through your inventory and be like, right, do we still have 7 paper clips in that other drawer? No, we've lost some. Right, change the quantity down. Done. Because it would probably be something you wouldn't want on a piece of paper. It would probably be something you'd want. The ease of digitalness, the fluidity of digitalness. But and then when it comes to moving, like, we had seven paper clips should have been in this box, but we've only had 5. We're missing 2 paper clips. What's going on here? That sort of thing. It would actually only work if you didn't move houses very often. I'd have to assume you're like stable in one place, and that you're always going to want to keep things in the same place, because as soon as you start like rearranging your bedroom, or suddenly that shelves goes in that room and you get a new shelf into your room, then you'd have to change your location naming system. So it actually would be very inflexible in that sense. But assuming you didn't and your life was really that samey, then it would be amazing. I suppose the principle behind it's there, isn't it? The ethos behind why it's good is there. It's one of those things where it's fantastic on paper, absolutely rubbish in execution. In fact, maybe I don't do a whole inventory of like every single possible item in the house. So you can probably either split it up one of 2 ways. One is all the like you know, you keep track of things like the fridge, the washing machine, the lawnmower. But even then, you can't exactly lose a fridge, can you? The fridge is either in the kitchen or it's not. But maybe the other one then. Maybe you go the other way, is like HDMI cables. How many HDMI cables do we have, and where are they? What box are they in? You know, because then you can assign like. So I was when I went through my like 5,000 plus Magic the Gathering cards, I did a similar system where I had a box and I gave each box a code, so like A2, A3, A4, B7, blah blah blah. So in my Magic the Gathering card directory, which I do have, lovingly and painstakingly put together, and I do love it. You know, where I've got 5 copies of Circle of Protection Red. Where are they? Well, 2 is in this deck, which is in this box, and then the other 3 is in box B7. Done. If I needed to, if someone's like, if one of my mates is like, yo, you got Circle of Protection Red, and I'm like, but do I? Yeah, well I've got 2 in my deck, but I can give you one of my 3 spare that I have in box B7. Where's box B7? Oh, it's right over here. Okay, well, and because each box is color-codedly and alphabetically and by type, actually I can't actually remember how I've done it, whether it's alphabetical first and then colour. No, I think it's colour then alphabetical. Maybe it's even by type. Anyway, I'll be able to find it fairly, so I'm not having to go through every single card in the box to try and work out. I will roughly know where it is, based on how I've done it, which I've now forgotten. But you get my gist. It's just, oh, my system, so good. Part of me feels like that's actually my calling, is not the job that I'm doing now, but like I've always said, my dream job, and it would be highly irregular, but oh so fantastic for me. I mean, everyone else will find it boring as pulling teeth, but like, if an earthquake happened, something that caused every book, oh my goodness, every book in the library, is that ice cream on the charging cable? It's bloody ice cream on the charging cable. Every book on the library bookshelf and every DVD on the DVD store case just fell off onto the floor. Well, someone's got to put all those books back. Mr. Librarian sir, don't waste your precious time doing that. Let me do that. I would love it. You know, you want it alphabetical, you want it Dewey Decimal, you want it by colour, then weight, then height in millimetres squared, plus, you know, the mathematical, if you convert the author's name into digits and then you times them all together and then you do number order by that. However you want it, I've got it. I have got it. I got you. That would be my dream. Just lock me in your library overnight, and by the time you come in the morning, most likely I'll be about quarter of the way done, but I'll have loved every second of it. And then just lock me in the next night, and the night after that. Basically just lock me in until I'm done. You just have to put like food underneath the like a pizza or something through the little door slot to keep me sustained. That's about it. Goodness gracious. Right, I'm gonna wipe the ice cream out of the cable slot. Right, we've got Tsunade again and Obito. Hello. You grab your headphones? You can come and hang in here if you want. How is your foot feeling? Is it getting any better? True. Still doctors tomorrow. Okay. But actually, no. If my life admin business takes over, then I won't need the library DVD store thing to tide me over. I'll, you know, my life admin thing will keep me afloat. Just looking at the time. Apologies to anyone who's watching, but expect me to disconnect in about like 20 seconds. 30 seconds left, probably even less than that. It's 8:18, I'm expecting at 8:19 the thing to disconnect, so just be warned. I will drop out at any second now, but then be back in like 30 seconds later. Fixing the internet is still an ongoing issue. It's basically an ongoing thing of the internet company says that the previous tenants or previous house owners disconnected, and then the house owners saying, oh no, the internet company saying the previous owners didn't disconnect, and the previous owners saying that they did disconnect. So who knows what's going on. And of course, if now that I say that it doesn't disconnect, I look like an absolute fool. Great, now it's 8:20 and I haven't disconnected. I should be disconnecting any second now. Goodness. Maybe the internet senses my fear. It's not gonna. Senses that I am expecting it to, and now it's not gonna. It's one of those things that only disconnects when you're not looking. Oh, come on. I wonder if the intended way of playing Kaguya is that depending on the type of character you're facing against, each of her Ame no Minaka locations is better. Like whether like the fire one is better when you're facing long distance people, or the you know, the sand one or the ice one is better for when you're facing like your slow characters like Choji and Jiraiya. Imagine if that was the case. Anyway, To those who are watching, welcome back from the disconnect. I knew it was about to happen. So it seems like it sort of like there'll be like 3 days where it disconnects, or 3 or 4 days where it disconnects at the same time, and then like the next day it will be like a minute or two later. So I remember when it used to disconnect at exactly like 8:05 or 4 or 12. It's on those 4 hour marks, and then it's just slowly gotten further and further along. But one day it will be sorted. It's just when the internet company decides to realise that we're telling the truth when we say that the previous owners have disconnected, and they just need to close port 1 on our ONT. I don't know all the technical language, I'm just relying on the boy to give me that sort of information, so... Should do it. And no, that'll do it. That'll do it. There we go. Lovely. Okay, Hiruzen and young Tamari. That's a character I don't play very often. Hiruzen. Well, then again, actually, sort of on the earlier days, actually, I did quite a few of him. I still think though of all the characters that will be like the last ones remaining, you know, the ones where I'll have to do like 30 fights with them in a row because I've used them so little. I do think Shisui, B, Kimimaro, and probably even getting Sasuke actually, now that I think about it. Lovely, that was a lovely fast fight. And part of me almost wants to say Tobirama as well, but then I also want to say Chio. Who was I just playing as? Tamari. And Hiruzen. Almost want to say actually a couple of the Sasukes. We're gonna accept this one. B and Mifune. I've also noticed another detail in this game is for those like ninja tools, like kind of like the bomb, yeah, the bomb essentially that you roll along the ground. Depending on the terrain, it will like if it's in water, it'll sort of just hit the water and then just plonk where it is. Whereas on lovely wooden floors like this, it will like go oh my goodness, go quite a distance. Whereas on kind of like the rocky ground, it'll go like a little way, but then not really. Lovely. Right, B and Mifune. May, that's another character we've hardly played. So I reckon it'll be like yeah, it'll be a Mei, young Sasuke, and B Parade. Oh, Kimimaro as well. But then again, we do have like 8,000 fights to go, so it could all change very quickly. So I suppose it's just that it's the nature of just random fights calculating, is that it's not a, you know, random doesn't mean that you will be doing everyone, you know, in an equal kind of measure of time. It's purely random. I could be, it is perfectly within the realms of possibility that you could just get like the same 3 characters, or same 4 characters, just forever and ever and ever circling. It's also perfectly within the realm of possibility that, you know, there is a, you know, the multiverse theory. There is a universe somewhere where, you know, for since I started till now, it's been like every character in perfect sequence. It's been like Naruto 6 parts has faced Naruto Kurama, and then the next fight is Naruto Toad versus Naruto, like the normal one, and then the next one is like, you know, and then it's been Sakura versus Sai, and then it's been Kakashi versus Guy. You know, it's just been that the whole way through. There is a universe where that exists. Now I wonder if like that theory, like there's something, some people use it as like a slightly comforting thing, saying, well, you know, in this universe, this scenario didn't work out perfectly, but it's nice to know that there's a version of me somewhere where it did work out fine. And dead. Lovely. Right, what have we got? Itachi, Reanimation, and Yagura. I also found out there was it an IGN article that I saw? I just read somewhere about it. I actually don't know how old the information is, but there's a guy, Kirkland, I don't know if it's the first name, last name, or company name, has every PS2 manual that's come out in England. There's like a specific region. It's not every single PS2 game ever created ever, no matter what the region is. He's bought them, taken the staples out, scanned them in 2K and 4K resolution with his little scanner, and uploaded them to archive.com. Every single PS2 manual. And I'm like, first off, that's something they need to bring back. is game manuals in your game cases, like my god, you know, the drive home when you've gone to pick up your game from the game store and your mum's driving you home and you're just sitting there reading the manual, getting super amped up for the game that you've just bought and you're so excited to play. They seriously start bringing them back. But I just think it's fantastic, and the guy's just done it, you know, he's not getting paid. He's purely doing it because, you know, it's, you know, PS2 games, we all got brought up on them. You know, some of them are so fantastic, have such fond memories, you know, and now people can still experience that, you know, all those kids, you know, the kids now, you know, don't get any of that anymore. They can read what was in your manuals, you know, and then you can find games for like, oh, yeah, like all like the old PS2 games we had. You know, I can find the manuals for them and then like reread them again, because there was some of them, and especially you can tell the quality of manuals. So you'd get two kinds of manuals. No, you get 3 types of manuals. One is it just gives you like all the controls. Here's what the map looks like. Here's what this looks like. It's like 4 pages and you're done. You'd get another one where it's, you know, it's got like a few screens here, there, and everywhere. You know, here's the characters. You know, here's, you know, basic sort of thing. And then you get like the god tier PS2 manuals. It gives you full character biographies of all the main characters and the villains. It gives you biographies on the locations in the game. It gives you the history of the world. It gives you, here's what the opening or crux of the game's about. Here's all your menu screens. Here's even some tips, adventuring tips. Here you go. And then I remember, I think it was the Jack 2 or Jack Renegade. I remember the manual, it's got like Dexter doing these little asides going like, oh, Jack's been looking pretty ropey since I found him. This city is crazy, kind of, you know, little comments. And I remember like on the, again, I don't mean to bring up Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2 all the time, but I'm going to bring up Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2 all the time. What's it? The manual on that, at the bottom of every page was another character biography. You know, and I remember it was that one, it was that manual, is where it states that Gaara, the reason Gaara has black rings around his eyes is because if he sleeps, Shukaku basically takes over, and so he can't sleep. So the rings around his eyes is purely because he's got insomnia. It's kind of like, it's basically a stylistic way of showing he's got big giant bags stuck under icicles around his eyes. I remember I'm pretty sure that was in that manual. Oh my god, maybe I should just, wouldn't that be a stream? At the end of every stream I go through a different PS2 manual and we rate the PS2 manuals on how good they are as a manual. Oh my goodness, it'll take forever. But we could do like 3. And then we rate the PS2 manuals. Maybe that's a stream idea, isn't it? That's a stream idea. You know, and then we can do it, because there'll be games that like I've never played, games I've never even heard of. So then I can look at the manuals and be like, right, based on this manual, would I play this game? How, if you know absolutely nothing about this game, you know, does this manual give you enough information to get even just like a gist? You know, does it give you all the control schemes? Does it give you, or should give you the control schemes at the very least? The very, very, very least, to show you what button is jump, which button is select, that sort of thing. You know, does it offer multiple language support? Does it give you a notes section at the back? Because the good god tier manuals, they give you your little 3 blank pages at the very, very back for your notes. Especially if it's a puzzle game or a game that has puzzles in it that you may possibly need to like write some notes and directions and stuff down in, or even a game that's got cheats, like your little down, left, right, whatever cheats. Does it have a section for you to write that down? See, that's what I should do, PS2 manual scoring. Oh, that would be fantastic. Do you know what I've just realised? fight 59 and we should be on fight 58. No, we should be on fight 60. I've missed a fight somewhere. What have I not done? Young Tamari. I didn't just play as Young Tamari and fought Suigetsu back. I think that's what I didn't do. I think I just went straight from Suigetsu down back straight to Hanzo, didn't I? I'm fairly certain of it. I'm just looking back. Like I definitely did Kaguya and Sasuke, definitely did Hiruzen and Young Tamari then. Definitely did B and Mifune, I definitely did Itachi Reanimation Yagura, and I don't think I did Young Tamari back against Young Zetsu. Oh sorry, against Suigetsu. So now I've got to amend that. Yeah, I don't think I did. I'll watch that back and see if I'm driven to myself. Yeah, no, I definitely did. Because now I'm actually really curious, because I'm sure there'll be games that we got from like sort of the ones at like United Video or Blockbuster that, you know, where they kind of have the, I don't know if there was a name for them. Basically like they would always have movies and games that they're not, for some reason, not renting anymore. They've got some kind of name for them. But then you could buy them for like, I don't know, $10 and you've got the game. They're always really cheap. And I can't remember. Actually, I wonder why that was the case. That'd be something to research. But yeah, but I wonder if like all, you know, all the games. There was a few games that we had gotten from in that kind of way, and the ones that probably didn't come with manuals either. So I'm really curious as to what games did we have on the PS2 that we should have actually got manuals for, but we didn't. So like, what games did we have? We had Kingdom Hearts 2, had Ultimate Ninja 2, 3, 4, and 5. Had World Rally Car Championship 2. We had Cars, the game, but the Meta National or something. It was like a spin-off game. Had that. What else did we have? SpongeBob movie game, which is class, and anyone who says otherwise is lying. Creature from the Krusty Krab. Slightly less of a class game, it's far more creepier than I was expecting, but anyway. What else do we have? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I don't, for some reason I don't think I ever finished. Maybe I did finish, I can't actually remember if I actually finished or not. It was a weird game. And for some reason I just remember it taking way longer than it probably would have normally. Like if I played it now, it'll probably take me like 2 hours to finish. But for some reason I just remember it taking like 50. What else do we have? We had Okami, we had Tekken 5, I had Sonic Riders and Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. And for anyone who says that Sonic Riders Zero Gravity isn't a good racing game, is also lying to you. Because that actually is fire. That was such a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it anyway. What else do we have? We had Final Fantasy X. We had... Oh, did Final Fantasy X come with a manual? Maybe it did. That would be actually no, because that was one of like the whatever they called those the games that like Blockbuster and United Video would sell. That was one game, because I remember on my disc it's got like a little yellow sticker on it. Possibly. Oh, I'm sure we had at least a few other games. Oh, we used to have Spider-Man Unlimited, Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King, my favourite game of all time. I had that. Lovely. That's another fire racing game. Crazy Frog Racer. That was actually there's so many. That's a game I need to add to my game tracker. So when I set up this game tracker, I was trying to remember all the games that I'd played like as a kid that I'd actually finished. And there must be so many games that I've completely forgotten that I've played. And I think Crazy Frog Race is one of them, and I do remember finishing it, so I need to add that to my list. Which then also reminds me of the other games that we had. We had Spyro, A New Beginning, which is kind of like the reboot that they did of Spyro. Oh, and then we had Spyro Hero's Tale. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, these games are all coming to me now. It's almost like when you start thinking about like something back in the past, like games that you had or films that you'd seen, and then you start thinking of more, and then as you think of more and more, suddenly like doors open in your brain, and you just start remembering more and more and more, and it's like that at the moment. Remembering all these PS2 games I used to have and play. Kind of like where I remember Dad, when you'd go to the video store and grab DVDs and stuff. I remember he got me Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I'd never think I'd played, or we had played, should I say, because he had played Final Fantasy X. I think we'd played Final Fantasy X by that point, so like knew Final Fantasy as a brand, and he knew that I found it interesting. So then he must have seen it and be like, oh, this looks like, oh look, it's Final Fantasy, here's a film. I'd never played Final Fantasy VII. I had like the most basic possible knowledge of it. I knew who Cloud was, and I knew that Tifa and Barrett Worth like existed, and they were Cloud's friends, and I knew Sephiroth was the bad guy. Like, that's it. And I think I'd watched I think before then I'd watched was it on YouTube? It was like one of those, what do they call it? Not an FMV, but it's like where they, so it was 30 seconds to Mars, what's it, Closer to the Edge. And it was like they have that song and they kind of just like make the video from like snippets of something, and it was snippets from Advent Children. I remember that they had made it for, like a music video, but using clips from something, I remember that was probably the only Final Fantasy VII thing I'd seen before watching Advent Children, was that. And so I recognised bits from it, and I kind of knew-ish, sort of, possibly what happened. I mean, if I watched it again now, I would probably be like, oh my god, look, it's Aerith, and I want to say Glenn, it's not Glenn, the kid at Advent Children. I think that's something to do with G or F. Dennis? Someone. Anyway. I probably need to watch Advent Children now that I actually have a deep knowledgeable knowledge of Final Fantasy VII and the extended and the 7 compilation. I should probably actually watch that. I should probably actually watch it before playing Rebirth. Okay, what we've got next? Naruto 6 Paths and Young Neji. like, I suppose, like, if you now think about it, because, like, Avid Children I watched completely out of set because I've never touched anything of Final Fantasy VII before, so I didn't really understand that film as well as I could have. The Kingdom Hearts 2 we played as our first Kingdom Hearts, so the whole bit with Roxas at the start. I mean, the whole bit with Roxas at the start actually, it's not actually a case of, oh, if you hadn't played 1 you'd have any idea what's going on. So that was alright, I guess. But it was one of those things where if you come into it later, you don't get the full possible experience, the fullest possible experience you could have. So, like, what other games do I have like that? I think that was probably it, actually. That's what I need to check on my game track, if I've actually put the cars and the Cars Made to National on that list. I feel like I should have. And then with the World Rally Championship 2, I think it was the second one I got. I can't actually, because I'm pretty sure I finished it. Like, I did every track. I'm fairly certain of it. So all I just remember is that New Zealand was like probably like 3/4 of the way through the game, like in the last third, or like approaching the last third of the game. Oh my goodness. Hey, yo, Naruto, do you want to not do the bloody soccer ball again? It's like he just spams that move constantly. There we go. Lovely. Right, who we got now? Kabuto Cloakman, ugh, and second Tsuchikage. Kabuto Cloakman and second Tsuchikage. That's another game that oh my goodness, I don't like remember all these PS2 games that I think like Dad rented out and played but never finished. And so there was one, and I'm so certain there was a Castlevania game. I bet my life on it there was a Castlevania game. But it was weird. Because all I remember is that you're at the start, like, it's kind of like you could get like little fairy creatures or something. They're like your little buddies. And then when you're in a fight, which I think the fights were kind of like, I want to say it's almost like an action RPG-ish. It's what it kind of remember it being like. All I just remember is that there was a castle at the start, and then you do the castle, and then you're kind of like outside, but it's almost like it's just very rocky and very like red sky like, and then there was like big ornate doors everywhere, and I just remember purple things, and then there was like, you go down a side path and then suddenly there's a giant dragon there that just like one it KOs you. I remember Dad got like a little bit of the way in, probably like a good couple of hours in, and then stopped playing for some reason. I'm so certain it was a Castlevania game. Like, so positive. Actually Google it. I've got it's not like, it's my phone. Oh, my phone's in my bloody pocket. I'm 100,000 bajillion% positive it's a Castlevania game. Let's have a look. Castlevania PS2. Curse of Dark, Lament of Innocence. It's either Lament of Innocence or Curse of Darkness. Oh God, what could be any? What does Curse of Darkness look like? Lament of Innocence. It's looking promising. No, I don't think it's that one. Must be Curse of Darkness. Who we got now? Naruto Racine. Yuji this guy. He can wear Sasuke's outfit. And because he's facing Sasuke. Curse of Darkness. That looks a little bit like it. That, oh, maybe? Possibly? I think it might be Curse of Darkness. Anyway, so I remember they played that. I remember it was always so exciting going to the video store and buying my games for the weekend. So it was even through into the Xbox 360 era. Like I remember Dad went with my little sister on a school trip for the weekend, and Mum was doing stuff, I think. And I remember I got Dante's Inferno and The Last Remnant on the Xbox 360. We rented them out from the store. I played and finished Dante's Inferno that weekend. For me and my pre-16-year-old self, it was an interesting game. As I'm sure all who played it would be able to imagine. Especially for little innocent me. But what else? Yeah, and then The Last Remnant, I think, fair decent of the way through. Well, no, actually no, now that I've actually played and finished it, I didn't get even a third of the way through. Yeah, it was always just so exciting renting a game from the game shop, from the DVD store. And I remember we went into... I remember going to the Blockbuster and they all had like all these different kinds of games as well. Like different to United Video. I'm like, oh, so many more games for me to choose from. So many, I'm just spoiled for choice. Come on. Fine, if you're not gonna play nice, I'll do this. And again, if I'm actually going to be playing as Sasuke, this version is the final fight and bumping up the difficulty to like ultra difficulty, I probably should learn how to play him quite efficiently. That'll do. Okay, right, who have we got next? Kaguya and Chio. Kaguya and Chio. Lovely. What other games do I play? I'm sure I played, because it was almost like it was every weekend that we played them. every single weekend, playing games. What other ones do we play on the PS2? So like, I almost want to get like, you know, go on Wikipedia and just get that giant list, like every PS2 game ever, and then just scroll slowly down the list, and just the games, the names that kind of like jump out at you, be like, oh, have a look into that. Have a look. Yeah, no, I did play that game. Take that off the list. Like, I almost want to do that, because I'm sure, like Crazy Frog Racer, there'll be certain games and I'm like, oh my god, that's right, I did play that game. Completely forgot about it, and it was a banger. That sort of thing. Ooh, lucky. Oh, come on. There we go. Lovely. Okay, right. Last two fights. We'll go Rin and Obito Sage mode. Rin and Obito Sage. Right, so these are the last two fights, which would take us down to 8,343. Dang. And hopefully manage to recoup my my abysmal 66 average fight now that I've done like 74 or something. Hopefully that's recouped that. Hopefully that's bumped up my average. In fact, the more I think about it, I'll probably be able to knock out even more fights in 2 hours if I didn't try and get ultimate jutsus in all the fights. If I just did just straight up whatever's going to be the fastest, then trying to get all ultimates in there just slows it down. Just slows it down considerably. Last fight of the night. Pretty cool how you look at Obito's fireball jutsus compared to Sasuke's and Itachi's. And Sasuke and Itachi's fireball jutsus, the size of them is far larger than like what Kakashi and Obito do. And you can almost like, I wonder if that's just like it's a choice because like Itachi and Sasuke just had just a considerably better grasp of ninjutsu than Obito ever did. Because Obito's a little bit of a apologies to anyone who likes Obito as a character, but I just find him a little bit like, you're not good enough, so you just went the easy way out. Ish. It's a very, very, very bad gross generalization of his character. But that's just how I've always found it. Anyway, with that being done and said, let me just update the list to 8:43. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, so I will leave it there. That is day 42 done and dusted. What have we got now? Excuse me. Tomorrow and Saturday will be more East Origin goodness. So it'll probably be, because I've got to do, excuse me, I'm almost at the end of Unica's run, and I need to then do Hugo and Mysterious third character's run, which apparently the third character is like the canon one or something. Anyway, so there's still a few more weeks of that left to go, but I'm enjoying every step of the way. Sunday morning will be day 43, and then normal week the following week. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing else more to say about that, I guess. Other than, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a fabulous morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you is in the world today. And I will catch you all on the next one. Bye.